1 o'clock, so we will get started. Hello everybody, my name is Vicky Vance from the Bathurst Diocese, and I've been one of the organisers of this summit, and I have to say we are absolutely blown away by the participation and positive comments that we've got from everybody, so thank you for all of those. This is the third last session of the summit. This is number 27 out of 30, most of which have been recorded, and if they haven't been recorded, there's resources on the website, and that will be the same for this session. So today it's my pleasure to work with Leslie from Lismore, and she's going to talk to you about geeky tips for Google Slides. It's something that we chatted about with and we thought was probably a good idea to offer people. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that the lands that we all stand on are and always will be Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander lands. We pay respect to our First Nations people, past, present and future. And just placing ourselves in the presence of our Father, we gather in prayer. Father in heaven, I call on you as I learn from home. Teach me to live the way Jesus lived. Unite my family in love as our lives slow down and we spend more time together. Give me the courage to be the best that I can be. May I remember that I am a special member of Catholic education. Let time apart create a closer bond between my colleagues and friends. I thank you for being my Father, who gives me life and love. Help me to trust as one of your children. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So just a reminder that we are recording this webinar. It will be placed on the website, hopefully within a couple of hours of the summit finishing this afternoon. We've got much faster at doing that, all of us. We are muting all mics just to preserve bandwidth and interference. We all know that there's things that happen in the background in people's homes. We've had some funny incidences over the summit that have made a few of us giggle. But if you do wish to ask a question, please use the chat function. If you don't know where that is, it's the little call out symbol at the bottom of your screen. So we will have an evaluation at the end, and I will put this back up at the end of the session. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and tell you a little bit about Leslie. Leslie works in Lismore Diocese. She has been a classroom teacher. She's been on school executive. I'm sure a number of people in Lismore know her name. She's been an e-learning person for a number of years now. She actually works with some of my Bathurst teachers as well through the Lismore online courses that she does. And she is just fantastic. She is always supportive, always helpful. There is never a silly question. And she's just been a breath of fresh air to lots of people in my diocese as far as online learning courses. And she's just an inspiration in her technology knowledge and her continual learning in this space. So I also am very privileged to call her a dear friend. So without further ado, I will hand over to Leslie. Over to you.
Thank you so much. That's wonderful, Vicky. This has been such an exciting week, and the Catholic Online Learning Summits team has just excelled in presenting all of this. The idea just came together at the beginning of April, and I watched the timeline unfold, and here we are with a very, very polished result. So may they still continue. So I'm going to try share, see what happens. Oh, look at that, I can share. Okay, here I go. So I'll minimise everyone there and pop you out of the way. And I'm going to share this one. This is the one that I will share with you at the end of the presentation, and it will be published as well. I'm not a fan of purple. I didn't kind of come to this template because it was purple. I came to this template because it had great ideas in it. So we're just going to go through. Vicky gave me some ideas just that we'll kind of go through some geeky things that'll make our slide presentations more engaging, more interactive, and they're all built into Google Slides. It's not like we're going to be learning something completely new. There's the agenda. I don't know what happened to my learning intention, so this is why I chose this template, because I'm not really good at design. I need a lot of support. So these templates actually come from Slides Maniac, and Paul has been very, very clever in putting a whole lot of slide templates together. I mean, I used Slides Carnival for a long while, and then I started promoting her on Twitter, and she sent me a box of stickers. Thanked me very much. She's not from Australia. So what I've done here is I've created an agenda item to be able to, I'm going to show you here, to be able to flick back and forth between the slides. Now I'm just going to be a real nuisance and move that because I can. And now we have a learning intention. At the moment we're learning about technology tools, how to turn it on, how to make it work. We're really in a really stressful time. And I spoke in the last session about the SAMAR model. It's a great spectrum, a great measuring tool to see how we are actually using the technology. And as I explained in the last session, you know, you either assess yourself whether you are teaching below the line, using technology as a substitution tool, like create a document, put it into Google Classroom, get the children to fill it in, turn it in, done, technology. So that's at the substitution end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is, you know, limitless, the way that you can use technology. And I fessed up, being very transparent. I said, what I am doing now is at the substitution level. But it's okay because this is what is needed right now. But if this is the way we offer professional development for the rest of the year, it's not all right. So we need to work out ways that we can use Zoom conferencing, not just to lecture at participants and teachers, but to be able to use all the facilities that Zoom conferencing tool gives us, like breakout rooms and collaboration. So we've restricted your student agency by muting everyone, so there you go. So I'm going to pop this open at the agenda level here, and this links to every other slide. And I'm not sure whether you know how to do that, or perhaps it's something that you've forgotten to actually do. And I don't know why it says my mouse is not behaving. I might just have to leave it at that. What is happening? Because it would be a Friday afternoon. Look, double click, present. Okay, now, as I said, I chose this because the items on it helped me move around. Now, if I want to skip a few slides and go to the design part, I hop straight in here to design, and we can talk about this. These are all resources. Then I can use these tools to navigate back one slide or forward one slide or go back home. So I'll click on this and it will take me home back to this agenda. I might want to look at some adding media. So you can see I'm not a real design queen, but I wanted to try and match the colours that they gave me. Each one of those is a resource, and you know, we can talk about that. And I'm just showing you how these little navigation tools can help you hop around. So I'm going to go to the agenda. We're going to look at design. This link will take you to the Google Training Centre, and I'll show you that in a moment. I won't show you this one. This is a great way to use the formulating these shapes and colours tool. And we'll have a look at this in a moment. I want to talk to you about Lauren Heil's work. She's a Google innovator and she's been sharing free resources, templates. She is a designer, and some are very easy to purchase, very simple process to purchase, and a lot are free. I've got the layout dimensions here. They're always handy. We're going to look at that as well. And some different aligning tools there. So what I'm going to do here is go to the, I think that was it there. I'll pop it open anyway. Here in this Teacher Centre, there are some training here, and this is free training. And this is really, really helpful. Here's some basics, and it's really a great place to start. So that link will take you there already. So I don't need to, this is the one I want to go to. So this is a video you can look at later on. This one goes to, not that one. Gee, my links are really driving me nuts today. Oh, this is a template that I found that I thought you might find really helpful. This is just a view only, so I can't change any of the titles. It's a bit of a cute way to set up like a mini website for students to engage students and help them interact. And so if you make a copy of this and you then get all of the editing features there, this is just the template all set up. So that's a really helpful area there. See, I'm out of presentation mode because it's been driving me nuts. I've got so much loaded on this at the last minute. Now, if I go to this presenting one, Lauren has created a whole lot of templates. This is one particular one. I was talking to a colleague of mine, Stephanie is a teacher, a Google innovator, a teacher in San Jose. And she's been using Lauren's, Stephanie, there she is there. She's been using Lauren's templates because they've been in their isolation, and they've been like probably into their 4th week of full remote learning. So she's used this particular template for her students, her secondary students, to feedback on their learning. And here she gave me an example of one of the students that they had to work on, find images that were free to use and take the reader to a particular website. But what I love about it is that these technology tools are great, but unless you've got structure, this is what we need at the moment. Unless we've got structure as teachers to be able to utilise this technology in this time of remote and blended learning, and unless students have structure, well, then it gets messy, it gets vague. So I popped in here, this is how Stephanie from the Singapore 19 Innovator Academy, this is the way she's been using this particular template. So she sets up the template, she has all of the students' names, so they know, there's the structures, they know where to go. Even though they're secondary students, they should know how to do it. It's just welcoming, she said, to have every student is included there. And then each slide has a name for the students. So when they have to, then they'll have a video conference and they have to present their work. Now they only get 1 minute to present their work. And this is one of their final assignments. So the presenter has 1 minute. The presenter has to set their slide up. Now the other students have a role, and this is where I love her, the way she's structured this, that the audience has 3 tasks and they have a form to fill in. So they have to say what they liked about that presentation, what they wonder about that presentation, and the next step would be like a question. So every student has a responsibility for that. And I thought that was a really great way to use a template and like utilize a template and give it to the students to create their own canvas, if you like. So this is really glitchy, sorry, Friday afternoon, we know. So the layout here is important. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. And we've had a look at the Netflix slide. I'm just going to go home. And I think there was another, yes, there was another one. I really want you to hear Jen, the way she's been using some of the slides maniac work. And Jen is a LAX 2018 innovator. And I'd like to play this video for you. It's a minute because we used these in the Smackdown a couple of weeks, about a week back. And this is the way that she's been using one of the templates, and to be able to change the template around to suit her needs. And I've got a few links there that she gave me. So I'm just going to see if we can get this going for you.
Hi, I'm Jen Leben, and I want to talk to you about how to use slides templates and how to customize those slide templates to make them really work for you and your needs as a teacher. First, I want to show you this website. It's called Slides Mania. I want to show, because we're talking about remote learning, one of these weekly planners for online lessons and how I used it and customized it for what I need. So you just scroll down and then you would hit Gig Google Slides theme. What's nice about this is that the first slide acts as like a table of contents and links out to the other slides. I decided that for me, I didn't need all of these slides. I really only needed one for each day of the week. These are, the important thing to know is that these are just suggestions, and you can go in and turn these into whatever you want. Don't be afraid to use these slides templates, even if they don't seem like they would work for you, because you can always go in and customize them and make them do whatever you want. You're the boss. Thanks.
Well, there you go, you're the boss. So that's a great way of using a slide template to engage students and perhaps give them a planner, and it's interactive as well. I'm going to go home again, and actually I think we might look at some of those design. I'll show you how I created those by going to the purple slide presentation, and I'm not going to do this in presentation mode. So this was the template that I downloaded. As I said, I'm not a designer. I need help. So I've got a to-do list here that I'm going to share with you. Now, this is why I chose this particular slide template, because down here, and I think it was this one, it wasn't that one, it might have been this one. Some of these actually moved, and I could then recreate that jigsaw. Could be this one. Yep. And I thought, oh, I can create a jigsaw. I'm going to make a really cool agenda. So I did, because as Jen said, you're the boss. So what I did was here, I would then, I'm going to highlight that, and you have to be really careful because you don't want them touching the other elements. And then I'm going to hyperlink from this agenda page to exactly where I want. Now, it's opened it up here by default. I can go to a web, web link. And then by default, it will give you the next slide option, the previous slide option, first or last. And then because I've actually titled each slide, it's picking up on it, because remember I made a to-do list and I don't want it to go back to the agenda. I want design to go to the slide, which happens to be slide 4 as my link. And I want to apply that. So when I go into a presentation mode, it will go from design, and it'll skip past all of those to that particular slide. And this is good when you want to fine tune the navigation, or perhaps you want to create a choose your own adventure. Now, so as long as you have the slide title in place, I don't think I did the resource one. I think I left that one to show you. You need to think ahead. You need to be able to name the slide so Google Tools can help you. I'm going to try and link that, because it won't work because it's down there. I'm going to try and link that to a slide, and you'll see, if it doesn't go too far down there, it says the slide in this presentation. Do I want to go to first or last? Where do I want to go? I don't want to go to design, adding media, interactivity. Oh, I haven't named the slide. And of course, there it is there. I haven't named the slide, so I don't know where I am. So do think ahead. To-do list, let's go back here. Hyperlink from the agenda. creating icons. Now, the way I created those cute little icons, and I think I've got one here, what I did is I created my own set of icons, and I'll show you how to do that. And I've, yeah, I want it to go, I can twist it right around, and I want it to go forward or backwards because I can, or I wanted that little home icon, and this is really helpful. Now I can insert an image, I can upload it from the computer, or I can make Google work for me. So move you all out of the way. Now I need to search for an image. Now it needs to be white because of the colour here. So I'm going to put in white home icon. Okay. Now, yeah, there's a lot there, and I can't see any white ones. In fact, I had one. White home icon. That's what I asked for. White home icon. Oh, I think this is it because I've done my homework. So I couldn't find a white one, and I didn't want a frame around it. So when I pulled it over, or I can insert it. When I pulled it over, it, of course, is grey. That's not what I want, but I'm hopeful. I'm just going to leave it there because I'm not sure whether this is what I want. So it's highlighted. I'm going to go to the format option, and I can resize the position and recolor it. Oh, things are looking up. No recolor, but there's a drop down arrow here. Success, I can make it any colour, and I can. And there it is. So I can have this home icon. Now, how do we make this work? So you need to, I'm going to get rid of that. So you need to just highlight the home icon. What's home? Home, let's make home the agenda page. Forget the rest. Highlight it, hyperlink it. Where to? A slide in this presentation, because we're right down the bottom here. Thanks very much. Oh, that's it. Slide 3, agenda. Apply. Now, word to the wise, or from the wise, a tip from, you don't have to do that every slide. What you can do, because it's going back to the one place, you can copy that and go to the other slides and just paste it in, and it will paste it where you copied it from, and so on. And so every time I hit that home button, it'll take me back to that agenda. So there's a few geeky tips there. Now let's have a look at, well, so let's have a look at this. These are little icons here. I don't really want that for interactivity. So I can go down, and Slides Mania always gives an editable icon. So I might choose for, what was it, interactivity? Oh, I don't know. I think last time I chose a pencil. It's yellow, don't worry about it. So I'm going to choose that pencil, copy, and go back up and pop it here. It's not what I want. It's pasting now, but what I can do is change the colour of it here. There it is there. And all I need to do is highlight it. I go to the fill icon, and let's make this baby white. Here it is here. And of course, I can do what I need to do with it. So that's the to-do list there. I think I've done everything. Creating titles, well, that's easy enough. You just follow the, make sure that you have the title on the slide, and hyperlink for navigation. So I've done all of those things. Is there a question there before I close this one off?
There is a question about the little start timer at the top of your slides menu. They want to know where that's going, and somebody wanted Lauren's website address, but I said you were giving all those things out.
It's in my slide. Yeah, good. Thanks for asking that. I'll tell her that there was some interest there.
And Cheryl's got, where do you put in the design slide title?
Here, it comes with it. It comes with it, and it has the same. What do you call it? The same font. So I'm just waiting for it to catch up to my 52 clicks. And as you can see here, it has the same font. So this is where I would say something like, you know, Geeky slides, and I can adjust it, move around. But if you change the font, people who are designers will pick it up straight away. So just stay with the experts. What other questions were there?
Karen's asking, you mentioned you downloaded the slide format. Can you explain how you did this, please?
Yes, Jen did it really well. You may have missed that. Jen did it really well. You go to the, I'll go right down to the bottom here, and you go to the Slides Mania website. And if you've used Slide Carnival before, I'll get there in a minute, you will see that you don't have to log in, you don't have to pay anything, and you've got all of these ideas. So this is the one that Jen was using, and Jen has actually, because she's a designer, she's actually added some of her tools in there as well. She's a great artist. So there it is. Now forget that thing, and forget this bit, and we go down here, and that's what it looks like. It will even take you through what does it actually look like, and do you want to download it as a PowerPoint template, or just get the Google Slides theme. This is the one you want. So that's nice and self-explanatory there, just popping this down. So I'm going to close that. So if that question, that's answered.
We've got one more.
Yep.
It's from Mia, and Karen's got the same one. It's saying, where do you name the slide, or does it automatically use the title of each slide as the name?
So I'll go back to my messy purple one. So in order for this to work easier, you need to say there is this resource one, it's the green one. And as I said, when I went down here, the template said, add your title here, and I hadn't done it. So what I would have to do is, what did it say? It said resources. So I would rename it there. Yeah, and then I, dress this one up the way I want. And so now when I go into this process and highlight that and hyperlink, it will find that slide for me now. It'll be called resources. It won't be one of the 15 slides that say, add your title here. So that's really, really helpful for them to jump ahead like that. I'm just going to pop back into the main slide presentation. And I'm not presenting at the moment, I'm just having a quick look here. We've had a look at the Netflix one. I'm going to have a look at this layout one. So I'm just going to write that down because I always forget. So if you want an A4, you need to go to a customized layout, and we're going to change it. So I am going to go to my blank demo of to-do lists, and I need to change this layout. Now I need it 21 by 29, or actually written it down. There you go. I go to File, and I go to Page Setup, and by default it will go widescreen. I want to override that and go to Custom, and I want it in centimetres, and let's see what happens when I do 21 by 29.7. Now, you can see the layout there, just in the faded area behind. I'm going to apply that, see what happens. Nope, it's not what I want. So I have to switch those numbers around. So I'm going to go back, Page Setup, go to Centimetres, Custom, yes, thank you very much. And I'm going to make it 29.7 times 21 and apply that, and watch how it's going to change it. Now it's an A4 size. So now the blank demo, what have I got to do? I've done that one, create shapes for interactivity. Well, this is nice and simple. If you are a designer, go for it. You can create shapes by using this drop-down menu here, create your shape, use the fill color to choose your color. Your border can be chosen here. I might make it like a dark gray. I can use the width, or I can change it from a strong box to dots and so forth. So if you are a designer, go for it and create. And I've got an activity for you. You won't get time to do it here. Sharon's almost finished that row of crocheting, I'm sure. I just want you to take it away and have a play with it. I didn't make it, Chris Betcher made it, and I asked him the other day, could I use it? So let's make a drag and drop activity. Aha, here we go. Now, it's about a 4-step process, easy. All right, now I need, because I've been thinking ahead, I need to have a water cycle. Here's my labels already done. And I need to prepare the slide, thinking ahead here. So I'm going to change the background colour to like a grey colour. Yeah, that'll do. All right, so the grey colour, and that's done. Now, I think I've done that correctly. So now I need to insert an image. I haven't got one prepared. I want Google to find a free to use one for me. And what was it going to be? Water cycle. Okay, I need a water cycle image. They're all labelled. That's the one. Oh, that'll do nicely. No labels. Thank you very much, Auntie Google. Not happy with the size. I'm just going to resize it here a little bit. Okay. Now, if we put labels on here, you know what's going to happen. I know, you're nodding. That, you know, like the kids are going to be able to move that around accidentally or whatever. So what we need to do at this point is, I've got the slide highlighted. I'm going to go to File, Download as a PNG image. I won't use a JPEG. I want the transparent background. So I'm going to download that, and it'll pop it into my download folder, I hope. Yep, there it is. Nice, thank you. That was the one that I was trying out. So I'm just going to move this up to here. So now I want, let's change this background. Let's lock it in. So I'm going to choose an image. I've already prepared it. I can upload, go to Google Drive, do another Google search image, but because I wanted to override the size of it, I'm going to upload and I'm going to choose that one. And there it is. Did it come or did it just go as a, it's come as, the other one hadn't loaded. Thank you very much. Oh. No, I don't find plain demo again. So what were we up to? We were up to getting a background image from Drive. It's choking. But what it does is it pulls that image that you've already created, and because you created it on that slide that had, it's not going to work, I've choked. What it does is it brings that image in and then you lock it onto the background and it can't move. So then you can bring your tiles in and they will move. So the children can then move those blocks around to get that. It's not loading. Nasty piece of work. Okay, done. So when it comes up as a, it will be locked onto the background. So I'm sorry that didn't work. So then with these little titles that we've made, we can move around on that grey background. I'm just going to copy one and see, pretend this is locked and it's not. Then we can ask the students to move these labels into place, and you can have them all sitting there and it can move across onto that locked background. I'm very cross that that didn't work. No, it's not going to work. It is not going to work. Okay, so moving right along.
I do like that you're trying every possible combination though there. That's good problem solving.
Thanks, Chris. Okay, so getting on to adding media. So I'm going to have a go at adding media and see if I can mess this one up. I'll show you what the demo page looks like here. This is the media that you can add to your Google slide. You can add a screencastify file. You can add an image file. I tried that and didn't work. And you can adjust the images, and I'll show you how to do that. And you can add an audio. So let's see if I can do some of these. Add an image. Let me see if I can drag an image up onto here. Let's see what happens if I just pop this on the page here. This is where I'm going to be in about 2 hours' time. Not at the jail. That's a historic jail. I mean, over here in the water. So you can also add a screencastify file by going to insert a video, and the video you need to have prepared. It needs to be sitting in your drive. We're not going to use YouTube just yet. So, of course, it's going to choke again on me. Nothing else. Oh, I might close that one down. Okay, so this is the screencastify one that I'm going to use. I'm selecting that one. I'm selecting it, and it's as easy as that. So if you need to add it, if you need to add a tutorial into your, your hyperdoc or your hyperslide, this is a great way to do it. So what's on my to-do list? Add a sound file. Well, that's easy enough now that Google has sorted that out for us. It's really easy to do. Just go to insert again, audio. A recent one, whether to go to my drive or not. That retro one was a bit long. Ping will do. And I can add that. It'll create a little icon, and it can be adjusted here, size, position, recolor, adjustments. All of that can be done in the formatting. And if it was in presentation mode, let's see, let's just try it without a success. Something worked. So I can adjust borders on these as well, because I can just go to here and make changes here as well, and change the size and so forth. So we've got an image, we've got a video file, we've got a sound file. So you could actually add a YouTube. That's what I did with Jen Liebens. I added her little smack down YouTube video. So I'm just going to add this one, but I need the URL. I don't know whether you've seen this one or not, and if you have, I just don't give away the little ditty. But what I'm going to do here is just share this with you now, and it's a Good Friday afternoon one, and it resonated with me.
Of course, it is a tricky time for teachers, and they're doing a great job. And this music teacher summed up how many of them are feeling with this, I gotta say, really poignant song.
Hey, so as some of you guys might know, I'm a music teacher, and I found that one of the best ways that I can process the whole transition to online learning and teaching is to write a song. So I wrote a song. I'd like to share that with you guys now. Here we go.
I got summed up out of that, I think.
We're going to take a break. We'll see you on the other side.
So I thought I'd add that one. So I'm just going to share, go to the share, grab that one, and I thought that would be a good video just before bell time. I'm going to pop it in here. Now I've got the URL. I quickly copied it because I think we're getting close to time. I'm going to insert, not an image or a text box or an audio, but a video file. And I want it to find that YouTube one. I wonder if it'll do it backwards like that. Read the directions. So this is a great 2 or 3 step process. You need to view the video to make sure it's what you really need. And I'm going to, yes, ask YouTube to search for that. I get another check to make sure that that is the one I want. And I select that, and it pops it into that slide for me. So,
but of course, it is a tricky time.
Well, and I might just stop that then, and get on with that. So now this is something that we do when we create our Hangouts advertisements online. What we do is we can change and edit this border simply by going to this crop image tool. This is really great. Now, your image probably was that shape. So you highlight the image and you can change it to, you know, whatever you want. And it's as easy as that, and it just jazzes it up a little bit. Here I have instructions to make more hyperdoc style slides. There's another set of instructions that really worked. There's drag and drop there. There are choice boards for students to make those choices, and there are interactive stories which of course bring in all of that navigation stuff there. So we do have a few minutes left. So the other one that I have for you that's not there, I thought I might have put it in there. The presentation, demo, the Geeky Shapes, that's what it's called. It's called Bitly Geeky Shapes, and this came from Chris Betcher, and thank you very much. I saw it somewhere, and what will happen is when you paste in, see here it says here, when you paste in Geeky Shapes there, you will get, it'll work. You will be prompted to download this, and it's all your very own. And so it'll make a copy. So if you want to have a few moments, I'll give you a few moments there, maybe 5 minutes. Thank you, Chris Betcher. And I put the licensing agreement. I pinched it off another one of your slides. And there are, I've only given you some of these, but if you go to that link, you will go back to an old site of Chris's that has many more tips. So what I invite you to do is put that Geeky slides, I'll put it in here again. No, in fact, I should put it in the chat. The chat here, the message here is Geeky Shapes, capital G, capital S. Have a go. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and what I'd like you to do is start adding more questions into the chat, and we can have, or turn your mic on, and I'll put this on for about 5 minutes. Okay, so.
Going well, Leslie. There was one question that we didn't get the answer on previously while people are playing, and that was on your slides, there is a start timer button. Somebody wants to know, I can't remember who it was, I'm sorry. Yep, up there. What is that start timer button?
Oh, this one? Oh, that's, you know,
yes.
When I work for you.
Yeah.
Well, that's my Clockify. It's a,
yeah, I know. But they wanted to answer that. Yes.
Oh, no, that's okay. When you're working for a number of people and have a number of different contracts and you need to keep track of what you're doing, I discovered Clockify, and it is an extension that sits really nicely on the Chrome. It's a Chrome extension, and it integrates really nicely with Google Tools. So if I open up a Slides, if I open up a Google Doc, or I can manually start it when I'm working inside Moodle, creating courses, and it will keep track of, how I have to assign it to a person like Vicky Vance and name it, like visualizing data, and I will clock my hours so she knows what I'm doing. Good question. You had me worried when you asked that. I'm thinking, what? That's what it is. It's an extension.
Yeah, start and stop timer. Yep.
That's
people are really looking at your screen.
Yeah, what else have I got open? I just
That's always a worry.
Yeah. So there's about 2 minutes left. So this is really great to be able to move this around, like aligning with other shapes, alignment to the page. I love the way that Google, Slides helps me, the non-designing person, helps me adjust to center of the page, and it'll give me the grid lines, and I just can't really go too wrong there. That's the center, apparently. So I find that's only about half of that presentation. So please go and have a look at that site, and you will have loads more ideas to work through. So what other?
That website, Leslie, is, sorry, the slide deck that Chris has
Summit
shared
stuff.
with you. He also did that with teachers in our diocese, and I've actually done that with students in class to actually show them all the features of Google Slides.
Yeah, that's right. Very good. So no more questions there.
Thanks for the mention, Leslie. In fact, if I can just jump in, unless you've changed it, if you go to the very last slide in that slide deck.
I have changed it.
Oh, you did change it. Okay. All right. Well, forget what I said.
However, yeah, look, I'm flexible. However, make a copy of the slide here. That's the one, and it's going to copy, and I will have 15 of these in my drive now, just telling you. So I'm making a copy, and sorry, what was that you said, Chris?
The last slide.
Oh, I was going to say, if you go to the very last slide, and it's a bit recursive because the last slide is a link to make a copy of itself again. So it's like a self-replicating thing.
Want a fresh copy? There it is.
So it's just bit.ly/slide design tips. If you just have that address, it'll just create a brand new one for you.
Very good.
It's like, did you mean recursion?
Thanks. This is copy number 16. Thanks for that, Chris. So I think we're coming to a close here. It's, I don't know what happened to my timer. It's dying here. Oh, 1:46. That's the time. There's 48 seconds to go. I'm fine.
So you've got a couple of minutes if anybody wants to come in with a question.
Actually, I'll put this in the chat right now, and I will look for, this is it, Geeky Slides. Chat. So this is the presentation. I won't leave the meeting just yet. This is the presentation. And I think Chris's original version was getting geeky with Google Slides or something, but I always use the word geeky instead of advanced or whatever, because people enjoy that. So if there's no more, I'm finished early. I didn't realise. I'm not going to go through all of those other ones. You can do that.
Did you put the link in the chat, Leslie? Oh, yes, there I can see it at 1:47. I'll just copy that.
There it is there, yes. Copy it out again, yes. And it will take you to this slide, and I'll get rid of my messy ones here. Don't need to have that again, that one. Yeah, that's your turn, and I don't need you to look at that empty slide. And that will be it.
Oh.
What?
Yep. There you go. I've put that the resources will be posted on the Summit side. So if you've missed that, I might hijack your screen now.
Yep, I'm getting out of it.
Just go to mine.
Well, that's great, Amanda. That's good. I'm glad you found something, a takeaway. Good. Well, Vicky gave me some ideas as to what she knew her teachers needed, hastily put together. So I hope we've covered what we need to. And of course, there are on the design page, there's 6 resources. On the media page, there's 4 resources. And on the interactivity page, there are another 4 resources. Go play.
So, Leslie, thank you so much. I know this is the second presentation you've done, one after the other. So I think you actually held that together really well.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
No, I can vouch for the background image and putting the labels over the top. It does work.
It does.
So
work. Yeah,
it does work. It's just, I think you were asking a bit too much of your internet connection there.
Yeah, it seems to be, yes. But look, it does work, and do try it. And, the videos there are to support you to do that.
Yeah. I'm just, people who, Amanda, if you want to follow me on Twitter, It's at Mrs. V squared. At Mrs. V squared. Vicky Vance, V to the power of 2. So V squared. So if you want to send me that, your Twitter address, that's fine. We can put something together. You will see a tweet with Alicia's Twitter address on there as well for that group.
Absolutely, yes,
so
that
if
group.
you look up, yes, that group. So there you go. I'm just checking out the last. It's lots of thank yous, Leslie, and Leslie's put her Twitter handle on there as well. Leslie tweets out heaps of stuff. Self-promotion, Leslie. Don't miss an opportunity.
Did that by accident. I couldn't believe it the other day.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, there you go. There's Karen again. She's caught you at it again, Leslie.
Gosh, yes, you got some mileage out of that, Karen. I couldn't believe it because I was listening to Vicky. It was a slide deck a Screencastify presentation, and I had at 6 o'clock in the morning copied my my Twitter handle out, and so at about 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, it was still in my in the copy, whatever. And I saw that someone kept asking for the COVID-19, code, and I thought, oh, come on. So I put it in there, and when I pressed it, I thought, that's awful. I just self-promoted right in the middle of Vicky's presentation because Karen picked up on it.
We're all good friends, no problems at all. Lou, I think I had download chat notes turned off for this, and I can't retrospectively go and put that back on. If there's something that you want, don't hesitate to email me or email Leslie, and I'll get it to you, no problems at all.
Absolutely. All of the links that I used were in that slide presentation.
Yep.
Even my Twitter handle.
Even Leslie's Twitter handle. There you go. And if you go to the Summit website, you will see, oh, Karen just made a copy. Okay, there you go. You should be able to make a copy. I thought I'd turned that off. There you are. It appears to be working, Lou. No, still can't. Not sure why that is, to be quite honest. I know I ummed and ahed about it at one point. So if you, I know I will get a download of it when we finish this. So if you email me, I'm happy to send you that download file when it comes through, Lou, no problems. My email address is on the Summit website if anybody gets lost and needs a hand with anything. But before we finish, what I'd like to do is say a big thank you to Leslie. 2 hours on a Friday afternoon is a big ask, and it's been a very long week for all of us. So thank you very much, Leslie. I think that was valuable.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Please, everybody who's left, if you go and evaluate the session, the next sessions coming up are Chris Betcher at 2 o'clock, and he's talking about websites. He did have it originally as Google Sites, but he changed the title to Websites That Don't Suck. Can thoroughly recommend that one. And at the very last one this afternoon is Steve Payne from Microsoft Remote Learning for Inclusivity, if you're interested. And don't forget, all the recordings and resources are up on the website, hopefully by not too late this afternoon.
Well done.
So thank you, everybody. We'll see you at the next session. Thanks, Leslie.